The biggest underperformers of the 24-25 season, Premier League specific, is what we're going to be discussing on today's video. First off, guys, we're back. Yanks of the Roundtable, fully fledged in 2025. As you can see on your screen before you, I'm joined by the usual suspects. We got Barca Boy 103, Maxi Gaming, my boy Austin Forbes here today to help me pick just one biggest underperformer for each of the big six clubs in the Premier League. Going to throw out some honorable mentions out there towards the end as well, so be sure to stick around. All right, if your team's not in the big six, you're not exempt from this video. Got more than a few picks that we'll talk about towards the end. All right, lads, let's just jump right in. Right, let's get right into this. I'm going to go and kick things off. We're going to go in the order of the table as it stands at the time of recording. So let's jump right into Liverpool. We'll kind of kick this thing off. I'm going to give my pick. If you guys hard disagree, fucking let me know. All right. But to me, it's clear with Liverpool. I think you really can't go anywhere other than, from my perspective, Darwin Núñez. I think Darwin to me is easily, bro. Look at what he was expected to do. Club record signing. And Arne Slot's basically told this guy to fuck off. He's just not, you can't count on him.
That's what I picked. But I was like, I guess because he hasn't even played him that we can even make that discussion. But I was
he's had moments.
He's played quite a bit to be in the conversation.
Yeah, but he's played a lot of games coming off the bench in the beginning of the season.
Well, to be fair, he had the period,
and then that can go to show that Slot does not like who he is, which to be fair. So that's who I picked. But I was like, I don't know. It's just I don't know.
I think it's a viable answer because he did have a few running games in the middle of the season where he could have had a mainstay in the team, and every time he comes on, he's just shit. Whether he starts these random games here and there, has a starting run, or comes off the bench. Apart from that Brentford brace recently, he's been absolutely nothing. It was between him and I was thinking about kind of focus on an active player. I was thinking Dominic Szoboszlai because his form just really up and down, so it's just really inconsistent. Not more so poor, but just inconsistent. But I went with Núñez as well.
Another shout. And I was thinking about was Andy Robertson.
That to me was interesting.
I feel like he hasn't been
reason.
Like there. Like
but don't you think, Austin, isn't that more last year? Isn't that more because we just expect more of Robbo? Like I think at this point, you know what I mean?
I think a little bit, and it also could be maybe Slot system fits him differently. But it just it's weird for him to not have an assist. Like I was looking at that and I'm like, he doesn't have an assist. His defensive stats really aren't great. I don't know. It's just been weird. I mean, I still went Núñez, but just for me, Andy Robertson's just not been him. And I think it's what we expect him to be.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I want to compare the two. Those are the two that I was thinking of too. Because I think Robertson, you look at him and it's just a different type of underperforming. He's underperforming in comparison to the expectation. We all know how class Robertson can be at that position. He's been that way for years. And so now it just feels like for what we thought or expected of him coming into the season, maybe he's letting us down. But Darwin, I don't care what bar you had for this dude. He's just, bro, he's got 6 goal contributions in 800 to 900 minutes played all the way around in the Premier League. He's not getting the start because he's just not good enough under Slot. Again, I'll say it again. This guy was the record signing for Liverpool. He was supposed to be contending with Erling Haaland as the go-to striker in this league, and it just hasn't panned out that way. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I mean, again, someone will get him on the cheap, right? Just like we talk about now with Anthony United. Someone, unfortunately, for what they paid, will get Anthony at some point on the cheap. Same thing with Darwin. They're going to get him for maybe half of what Liverpool bought him for. Right? Is he worth that? Is he worth 40 to 45 million right now?
For a team that maybe needs a striker.
I mean, and this
West Ham, for example, kind of
in the winter window.
In
the winter window.
Plus, maybe. I mean, in this market, and probably, yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, Darwin's so fucking clear as the biggest underperformer. And maybe it just says a lot about, again, the level of Liverpool right now. And it's hard with how well they're playing to really pick someone that stands out, but I think he's the clear favorite. Are we all on board there?
Yeah. No, I agree. But I also want to bring back to the point of what we talked about last year with Liverpool, especially with the left back position. There's no competition there also for Robo. So he's underperforming, but yet there's no one to replace him. So it's not like he's fighting for his spot again. There's no competition for him.
You don't like Tsimikas, bro?
Yeah, bro. You want him at, hey,
he's playing United.
Would you want him to play for Arsenal over
Oh
Zinchenko?
fuck no. I'd take Zinchenko over Tsimikas all day for a number of reasons. I mean, fair enough. I agree. Robertson, again, he hasn't been like, if you compare him to every left back today, he's probably still not even like top 5 worst, top 10 worst left backs in the league. Like, he's not on that level. It's just he's dropped off from where we've seen him and what we know he can be.
They should have went out to Jedi like we said last year.
Yeah, you never know now. United could also use Jedi equally.
I know Jamie Carragher's talking about them really getting a fullback this window.
Yeah, they do, and for a number of reasons, not just the left side, the right side also potentially as well.
That's their biggest issue, I think, right at the moment.
There's more than a few teams that's the issue for. We'll talk about it. But Darwin Nunez, that is our pick for Liverpool. All right, we'll move right into the next spot in the table in second place, Arsenal. Again, we call him Arsenal hater number 1. Hafid, who'd you have for your Arsenal pick?
So I wanted to pick someone here that actually played a considerable amount of minutes this season. So I kind of avoided the new signings, you could say, for Arsenal. So I've gone with Havertz simply on the fact that in the big moments this season when Arsenal did lead him, he didn't just not show up, but he drastically underperformed. And we could say cost Arsenal in 1 to 2 trophies. I know he did really well at the start of the season, but there's been a massive dip since that return in the November break until probably present day. I think that 2-month dip really, really affected Arsenal. You could also blame it on Arsenal not having, any suitable replacement there as well. But for the money that he costs and for what Arsenal do expect from him a little bit, I think he underperformed quite a bit. I think, honestly, apart from him, I don't really think any of the mainstay Arsenal players have been really underperforming. I just think that situations in games is what's really cost them the most, but I have been pointed onto Havertz.
Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of crazy. Look at Havertz, by the way, and he's like our leading goal scorer as an Arsenal fan for like all of this, the calendar 2024 year. So it almost depends on the expectation. Maybe it's the opposite of the Andy Robertson conversation for me. It's like, I didn't know what to expect this season. I thought last season was kind of a purple patch for him. I didn't know how he would start this season. And I think he actually surpassed my expectation a little bit. His catalog of misses is actually fucking atrocious, though. If you actually just want to have that conversation, as many goals as he has, his catalog of misses is equally impressive in the opposite direction. I had a crazy shout from Arsenal's perspective as a fan of the club. For me, in comparison to the other seasons he's had for the club, as the captain, Martin Odegaard has not been himself.
That was my pick.
It's kind of crazy if you just look at it, right? People will
I was going to say, sorry. It's funny how we were both saying that, and when he came back, we saw a massive difference when he was back on the pitch. But here we are saying he's still kind of underperforming.
He is. And from the biggest area of, if you look at the last few seasons, right, Odegaard was contributing with goals. It wasn't just the assists. It wasn't just dictating play and running the tempo in the middle of the field. He was actually chiming in with goals. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know he's become a dad since all of that, but I don't know what has happened since then. But this man could not, he just can't find his shooting foot. Like, I don't know what it is. He gets clear opportunities top of the box. He just,
it's not even, I mean, he just has four goal contributions. And
well, the assist part, I also blame a little bit on just the fact that Kai misses so many chances. Other Trossard misses so many chances. Martinelli will miss chances. Like, there's only so much Odegaard could do when it comes to like total goal contributions. But I will say, just because look at the chances created, those are actually still pretty on par with previous seasons. It's just, man, by his standards, again, same thing with Andy Robertson for Liverpool. He's just dropped off significantly this season. By most midfielder standards, I don't think it's a terrible season. And again, like Max said, we've seen the lift in Arsenal when he's playing, but it's still not Odegaard of last season or even the year before. It just feels like, I don't know, like he's almost playing injured or sick half the time. It's just, I don't know.
It's like half-ass.
Yeah. I just, like, we get good spells throughout these matches, but there are still plenty of moments where he loses possession cheaply, or he's not pressing the way he's supposed to, or he gets clear-cut opportunities and can't bury them or even put them on target for that matter. So there's some players you could pick up. I picked Odegaard.
I only voted Odegaard because of how he started the season. In that first 2 months, he did really well before that injury where he was out for like a month and a half. So that kind of is why I lean towards more Havertz than Odegaard. But Odegaard's still a fair shout too as well.
Yeah, Austin, who'd you have?
I had Odegaard, but I also looked at Jorginho. I mean, he literally does not play. in the Premier League. Like
he's
what
played
has
like
happened?
what, 3 or 4 games this year? That's fair.
Barely. He's had like 1,000 minutes in other competitions. I mean, it's not his game to get goals or assists, but he doesn't have any goal contributions in like 1,000 minutes. But he also just doesn't play in the Premier League, and it's like that move wasn't really great. He hasn't been good in 2 years.
I think he played his role to an extent last year when Partey got injured. Like he had to. Like there was just no way around it. But I think when everybody's healthy, I don't know. He almost feels like a player manager. Like it's really
he's just
weird.
there. Like he's just there on the training ground. I feel like I'm like, why is he still there?
I don't know.
I think I read he's trying to go to Brazil.
His contract will run up this summer, just like Partey. So I think both of those guys are gone.
I don't know, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair shout. I think Odegaard and Havertz are the ones we expect the most from, along with Saka. Saka, of course, performed all the way through up until his injury, and in a lot of ways carried Arsenal without Odegaard. And so I think you have to almost, just for the expectation, probably lean on those 3. If it's up to me, I'm taking Odegaard over Havertz just because, again, he's the captain. More is expected of him. And, again, there are moments where he can pull out Arsenal out of the fire and he doesn't. So what do we think, guys? Odegaard, Havertz, which one?
It's 3-1 to Odegaard, so we'll go
Odegaard. I would say Odegaard.
I would say Odegaard.
Okay. And that's kind of crazy. If you guys are familiar with the channel, right? We did put Odegaard in, or I think he was like 8th or 9th in like the top 10 players of 2024. Go watch that video down the channel below. Let us know in the comments, man. Seriously. If Odegaard's not your pick for Arsenal, this was kind of an interesting one. Let us know who you have as the biggest underperformer for Arsenal this season so far. All right, man. Now the big one. I feel like we could honestly pick a number of players because of the expectation for Manchester City, but I'm really kind of curious. Let's start with Max. Obviously, he's one of City's biggest haters. We'll kick it off with him, Max. What are you thinking for City?
Well, here's the thing. The one that I really wanted to pick is no longer on City.
That's who I picked.
Interesting.
So,
I picked him.
I'm going to pick him anyway because he's been absolute shit this year. I can't believe AC Milan took him but I guess they got him for a little bit of cheap. But and Pep's been glazing him. I'm just like, Pep, he's been your worst player this year.
Didn't Kyle Walker fall off a little bit last season? Do we not feel that way? I think it kind of started a little bit last year.
It started, but they were still winning, so I don't think it was as like magnified as it was this. I mean, he's been one of the best defenders in the league 2 to 3 years ago, and now he's one of the worst. Like, his drop off has to be studied.
He's just a pace merchant, bro. I feel like I've been screaming that for a couple of years now. It's just like I think when I look at Kyle Walker, and yes, he may go down as the best right back in Premier League history, whatever, right? Fine. But when his pace left him, it's like there's nothing else there that's a redeeming quality to an extent. Like it's not like he's a super clinical 1v1 defender. And what he relied upon once that started failing him, it's just City got exposed all the way through. And maybe some of that's them playing with center backs in some of those positions, right? Them getting their back line getting exposed so often. But I still think there was someone more just for all the hype this motherfucker got coming into the team this summer. I really think, bro, let me know how you feel about this, especially Hafid. My pick
I know who you're going to say.
Was Ilkay Gundogan.
Okay, see, that was my second pick.
Bro, the amount of hype Gundogan had, you would have guessed Barcelona just had a complete disaster class by letting him go. like it was the worst thing the club could have done. Fans were up in arms. Yeah. City was like, dude, we just got this guy back for free. They were so sure it was a signing to get them over the top. It was a reason in preseason Arsenal wasn't going to contend with them for the title. And like all of these things, right? They're like, oh, this is such a class move by City. Bro, he's done nothing. Fucking nothing. Rodri's out. They're relying upon Gundogan now, and it doesn't matter. Like he can't fix their midfield. It's crazy to me.
I knew Javi was going to pick him too. That's
Oh, who's gonna pick them? Who's gonna pick them?
You should have given this segment to Javi so Javi can literally just. I knew, like I was just waiting. I was like, oh, Javi's going to say Gundogan. I just know he is.
We've been saying it, bro. We've been saying it. Like I said, again, another Laporta masterclass, bro, from Barcelona's perspective. Like maybe they saw something. Gundogan slowing down. Keep in mind, he was a stat leader for Barcelona last season, right? Didn't he lead the team in assists?
He was the best. He was the best player last season, 100%. Not even close. He played like almost every single game. I think he got double digits in assists, almost got double digits in goal. I think he got like 7 goals, something like that. Phenomenal last season.
Yeah. And it's nothing. I'm not trying to shit on Gundogan. Fantastic person, great player all the way around. I just don't like maybe the gap between leaving the Prem and coming back. Just again for his age and where he's at, kind of fucked with him a little bit. Like who knows? But bro, I mean, like I don't even know what his stats are right now. Like I couldn't even tell you what those are, but it can't be good.
I think
they're not great.
Yeah, I think his 1 goal contribution.
Yeah, but just watching him, bro, like watching him jog back when City's facing a counterattack is one of the funniest things in the world to me. Like, I just watching him try to keep up, I'm like, bro, he doesn't belong in the Prem anymore.
One goal contribution and 15 starts, over 1,300 minutes played.
Austin, has Gundogan been worse as a center mid for City than Walker was in the first half season as a right back?
I think Walker was worse. I mean, Walker was so bad. I mean, like, and part of it's like when I was looking at his stats, Kyle Walker lost a ton of possession. And what is City's big thing? Their defender passes the ball, sets everything up. He lost a ton of possessions. His like long ball accuracy was awful.
Terrible.
I mean, and that's a big part. Like their defenders are a part of their team, and that's why Rodri is so big because he can play kind of that deeper role and set everything up. And without him, you've had as more of an 8 and defenders doing it to where the job of 1, and it's just a mess. And Kyle Walker's there, and it's not their problem anymore. But I don't know. I just feel like Walker's been worse.
Yeah. Fair enough. If we want to go with Walker for this, again, new AC Milan signing. Hopefully Milan see something that we don't see in him. But at the end of the day, we want to go with Walker. That's totally fine. Keep in mind, too, even if you're going basing it just off ratings per match, Walker is the worst on this team. If you look at just like things like that, for those FOTMOM merchants out there who just want to rely upon stats with their arguments, you do have more legs to stand on with this because Walker quite literally has been the worst.
Visually and just
yeah,
with the eye stats.
On every end.
On every level, he has been the worst. But okay, last question. I'm really surprised with City. No one has even thought of Jack Grealish. Are we not thinking of him as an underperformer? He score all of fucking 2024.
He just sucks, bro. He just
hasn't been good for like
100 million
3 years,
signing. And no one talks about it. And I didn't want to mention him because I'm over it because the fact that every United player gets crucified, but yet here's Jack Grealish, literally just escapes every criticism for the last few years.
I think
it's the expectation with Grealish. Like, I think we literally expect him to be terrible.
Maybe. I don't know. Part of me is like,
he needs to go back to I
think if he went back, if he just got into a role with the team where he could be creative again, he's not a bad player. I actually feel like Walker and Gundogan are approaching the territory of just not being good enough for the Prem. I do think Jack Grealish is good enough for the Prem. That's my thing.
Don't forget, Mr. Phil Walter Foden was on the verge of being my contender.
Same, bro. Same. This
last January, he's done all right, to be fair to him. So this January month kind of
the very final part of December, he kind of started waking up. But the whole first half of the season was wow. Just
to be fair, I did pick Gundogan. I would have picked Walker if we had to count on him. So I think we're all the same wavelength here.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. We got 2-2, I think. But I look. I mean, like we just said, on paper. On what stats wise, I mean, on multiple levels, right? And I given Gundogan a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. He's being asked to do a role that, frankly, he's just not a tried and true defensive mid. Walker's a right back through and through, and he just can't pick up the position. So I'm okay with giving it to Kyle Walker. I think that's fine. Either way, man, he's gone. He's on to AC Milan. Hopefully he improves in the Serie A. It'd be great, right? Of course, being a Christian Pulisic fan, just to see Milan keep doing things. And look, man, Conceição is not a he's not a dumb manager, right? He's not. I think he knows what he's getting with Kyle Walker. So, I'm confident he could probably help him turn it around, at least for what they want to do in the Serie A. But for the purposes of this video, he is the biggest underperformer of the season so far. We'll see who takes it for the second half of the season with City. Let's move on to Chelsea, lads. Chelsea, a lot of players potentially that you could choose from. Had a very up and down season. Let's start with Austin on this one. We know how much he loves Chelsea. Austin, who'd you pick for yours, bro?
I went for Nkunku. I mean, I just feel like he hasn't, like, when he got signed, a lot of us were so excited to see him. He had such a good year at Leipzig, and then the injury bug just hit him massively last year. And He's played this year. It's just, well, he's not really played in the Prem, actually. I mean,
it's more Conference League.
Yeah, it's more of the Conference League where he's been good in the Conference League, but it's also the Conference League. Like, I mean, come on.
They should win that.
He has 2 goals in the Prem this year, and it doesn't help that they have about 80,000 players that could play in the attack. But I mean, just for the money they spent on him and the hype that he brought in, he finally has been healthy this season, and he's not really been anywhere.
Hey, really quick, Max, you taking Nkunku for Garnacho? Talk to me, bro.
No.
No. Come on, man. That's the deal. No. That's the deal, right on the table right now.
No.
Oh man.
Give me Joao Felix. Give me Nkunku, and give me.
Hey, Joao Felix ain't all that, man. I'll tell you that from experience.
I mean, but okay, so yeah, I mean, like, do you think that's it might not be a fair swap, but if you get Nkunku and cash for Garnacho, you wouldn't take that deal?
No, I don't want to go Garnacho. I'm as you guys know, off pod, I'm not a fan of giving up Garnacho.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just kind of curious. Who had anybody? I'll kind of start with mine for my Chelsea pick. I actually think mine is blatantly obvious because of you can point to the most recent game between Chelsea and City as a massive example.
Hold on, I got the same one then.
Yeah, bro. Robert Sanchez, what the fuck
He's
are
been
you
bad.
doing, bro?
He was my
what
number
are you
2.
doing? What are you doing? They want to buy every other player. They want to go buy defenders, go buy forwards. They want to trade Nkunku for Garnacho. Why are we not looking at the keeper position if you're Chelsea?
They have Jorgensen. Like, they haven't played him.
I don't. Yeah, didn't they have like 8 keepers in the preseason at one point? Like, bro, you don't have to play Sanchez. You just don't. Like, I'm not even a Chelsea fan, bro. I hope they keep playing him the whole fucking way through because he's been terrible. He's been absolutely awful for Chelsea. And that goal, by the way, where you see him come out, this man went full on Yaki Peña all in the span of like 20 seconds. Like, he came out, decided, nope, not a good idea. Let me try and backpedal. And Holland chips him. It's just,
don't forget he's done that like 4 or 5 times this season as well. I think he did it in the Spurs game away, if I'm not mistaken.
I just don't. Yeah. What do you think? Like how is Maresca showing you how to play your position in their system where you don't know what decision to make when a forward has that kind of chance against you? I don't get it. I don't know where he's getting confused with the system, and there's no way Maresca's happy with this. So I'd be shocked if he stays with Chelsea as the starter the whole way through. But do I hope that happens? Fuck yeah, because I want to play Chelsea with him in the back of the net. I really do. He's by far their worst player in my opinion.
He was second. I had another one other than you 3, and that was Pedro Neto.
Bro, the issue with the Nkunku shot and the Pedro Neto shot that they just don't play. So it's kind of hard.
Neto plays.
He does play. He's
Pedro Neto plays.
The issue is that
he plays. And Nkunku has more goal contributions than him, and he's only played like 2 games in the Prem.
Well, they're not padding in the conference.
But I'm not talking. No, I'm talking about the Prem.
Neto had 2 good games to kick off, and then he really hasn't played well since.
I don't remember Nkunku ever played in the Prem. But if he does,
played a few games.
Neto's played 11.
He's come on as a sub in a few games. He has. Same thing with Neto. Neto started a few games too. It's just that he hasn't played well enough to keep his spot. And that's he had 1 good game against Arsenal where he got the equalizer.
How much was he signed for?
50, 60.
And dude, Chelsea fans were raving. And now we're in January. They spent over £1 billion, and they want more signings because all these players. They still want more players, bro.
They have Joao Felix, Pedro Neto, Sancho, and Madueke as their 4 wingers, and they're working for Garnacho now.
Oh, it's like Mudryk.
Mudryk.
No and Mudryk as well.
Mudryk's still there, by the way. Yeah.
There's probably more that we're
forgetting. Yeah, I mean, if you count Dewsbury Hall as like an outside midfielder or whatever, maybe him too. But they have so much depth, and yet they're still looking for signings. And again, I hear the shouts for either one of those players. I just still think Sanchez has been worse considering he's played more, and they're just, I don't know, they're terrible at the back. Hoffman, anybody different? You got Sanchez as well?
No, just I think those are the most obvious one in my books. Due to him, the amount of minutes he plays, how important he is for Chelsea, the mistakes he's made this season. He's cost them points on multiple occasions, even though I know it's a bit of receipt bias with the City game, but I can remember way more from this season as well. So I think it was probably the easiest one for me out of all these, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Sanchez, to me, again, I do agree that Nkunku hasn't done enough. Neto hasn't done enough, especially considering what they were signed and brought in to do. But Sanchez has been given so many opportunities, and he's just proving time and time again that he's not at the level. This man needs to go back to Brighton or some shit. I don't know. And even then, I don't even know if Hertzler would take him. just because I think he's just so confused on what he's supposed to be doing back there.
It's just like Chelsea bought Jorgensen this past summer, didn't they? Or this past winter?
They acquired a couple different keepers over the summer.
It's just, don't they still technically have Kepa too? Or like, I don't even know.
Yeah. And I'm sure, right? That Kepa's where right now? He's
Bournemouth on loan.
Yeah. And he's loving life right now. He's loving life. Bournemouth.
He's not even 6 coming to be fair to him, but he's
not been great.
But still, Bournemouth as a whole, just there's not a single player in that team that isn't loving life right now. I mean, especially the likes of Kluivert and some of those Semenyo and some of those guys who are just in crazy form. All right, man. I think just due to majority, right? We'll go with Sanchez. But look, there's been more than a few attackers on Chelsea's side that we can really kind of point to here. All right, man. Manchester United. All right, how are we feeling? Let's go with who in the round table. What side are we on?
I gotta go with Max.
Let's go with Max. Let's start with Max here. Yeah, we'll go full circle. Max, who's your pick on your team, bro?
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison. Rasmus, Xerxes.
I have my pick.
I mean, you can make your pick, but I think for me it's Diogo. I have not enjoyed Diogo playing.
Wow, really?
That's interesting.
I haven't I think he's been one of our worst.
Let's see, a little bit. Yeah. I thought he was very well that first 2 months, at least before Ten Hag got sacked. I remember him being.
I think
it's player to like 50 interceptions. All defenders.
I think it's just system thing. That's why.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of this recency with the United fans that they're not.
I just don't think he fits the system.
On either side.
So he's not an Amorim guy. Is that what we're saying?
What do you mean?
Either right wing back or left wing back, maybe right center back, left center back. Nothing.
I don't think he can fit as a wing back. I think he's just a natural back. We've seen it. Like, and he's cost us a lot. He's cost us a lot of games, to be honest. Just based off his performance.
Yeah, he had 56 in the Liverpool game. No, I remember the one at Old Trafford, I think.
And then some of his decision making, the red card. You could talk about the yellow before that. Yeah, maybe shouldn't have gotten that, but he has not performed under Amorim, which is also why we're trying to get a left wing back.
Mm-hmm. He's a Ten Hag guy.
He performed. He was arguably our best player last year under Ten Hag.
Yeah,
I think even the first few months he's done really well since Amorim's come in.
Too, yeah.
Since Amorim comes in, he's not been
worse than Madrid were in for him when he was about to leave, but renewed as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we could talk about Xerxes and Højlund, probably a lot of people's picks.
Højlund was mine.
Højlund was mine.
Yeah, fully transparent.
Yeah, it was between Højlund and Xerxes, and I
think the one for Xerxes is just slightly unfair. And keep in mind, he has outscored Rasmus Højlund this season.
Yeah.
So
that's why
I will point to that. Yeah, I think for me, the price tag for Højlund, right? Kind of just the expectation. Sure, last season we gave benefit of the doubt, right? What was the song, the theme of Højlund last season?
Waiting on his miracle.
Yeah, waiting on his miracle. And he got it, right? He finally got going, and we saw what he's capable of. I think we all fully expected, Max included, to take a step up this season. Right?
Him getting hurt to start the season didn't help.
Yeah, fair enough. But
he hasn't scored in like 2 months in the Prem.
Like right now, United could be such a better position on the table if he even took a quarter of the chances he's kind of missed this season. And yeah, man.
The issue with him, he complains a lot. I do as well about his him not receiving a lot of balls, but his whatchamacall, not route running, his position going into the box is just not good. Like, he just not have the awareness. Like, instead of someone doing a cutback, he'll go straight behind a defender where he can go into open space. And I've seen that like so many times. And whereas Xerxes is a little bit has much better awareness in the final third, but the finishing's not there yet. Maybe it will be, and maybe it's a little bit lack of confidence, but at least with Xerxes, his positioning is way better than Højlund's. Whereas Højlund, it's just he's great at holding the ball up, but that's all he's been doing. Like that's all he looks to do now.
Yeah,
he just needs to find a way to manage to do both rather than just holding the ball up. So he's done well in Europe, but when it comes to Prem, he's just been non-existent.
I wonder who will end up fitting the best if either of these two, Xerxes or Højlund, in Amorim's system. I don't know. Gyökeres could be coming in the summer. Like, who knows, right? But I think like you look at Xerxes, right? Across the stats that outside of goals, across the stat lines that matter, that give you a sense of what he brings to this team. The goals per 90, the XG, right, per 90. Like Xerxes leads all of those categories in comparison to Højlund. Like, I think Højlund, yeah, he does a good job holding up play. But if that's all you're bringing to the table when you were bought for, what was it? What was the price tag? 80, 90 million? Like that's just not enough.
70 mil.
But how crazy is that United spent 110, 120 million on both Højlund and Xerxes, and now they want to spend another 80 on Gyökeres? That's just wild to me.
I wouldn't look. If it was me, I wouldn't even get Gyökeres. I would go after someone who's been balling out in the Prem for the last few seasons, rather than just going out and hoping.
Well, my point is that you're still in for
you're in for another striker, which is, I think the issue is that it's okay to get after Xerxes or Højlund. I mean, Højlund's a little bit younger, but you also needed to get someone who's a little bit more proven, because Højlund, you can't expect a 7 to 10 goal 20-year-old from Serie A to take you to the next step in the Premier League.
For sure. But spending that kind of money means that you trust him to be that player that you do want.
Well, you trust him as your future 9 to be able to fit into that mold of being your number one striker. But at that time, I don't think he was ready. I mean, we saw it. Like he came in and struggled, and then he got into a little bit of a consistency in the second half of last year. But here we are again. I understand we had a slow start, and now he's in a whole new system, but he still has not performed, and that just shows he's just not yet ready, or may not even be ready ever. But we don't know. He's still young. But I truly think that we should have went after a more proven 9, or at least an older striker who can help mold him to be a better version of himself. But
should have kept Weghorst.
Yeah, maybe. But I will say, someone you guys could have gone after, by the way, Max, like the real reason it looks bad is because of the price tag. Like if you would have spent like significantly less,
and that's the same way Antony. Yeah, Antony he was bought for 100 mil, but that's not his fault.
Yeah,
you think he wanted to be bought for his price tag was like 40 mil.
Bro,
it was the board.
It's never the player's fault, right? And then you can only judge the player based on the performance. But when it comes to like career-wise, that's
not true, because a lot of people base the player's performance off their price tag. A lot of people are basing Antony off his price tag, which is fair.
Yeah,
but it's not fair at the same time. He didn't ask to be signed for 100 mil. He's not a 100 mil player. Now, everyone in the world, even though you know for a fact he's not a 100 mil player, people are still basing him off. Oh, you got to spend 100 mil for Antony. Well,
but I think that's just part of the game. Same thing for Jack Grealish. He's not a 100 million pound player. He went for 100 million. He's probably flopped, I would say, over the course of his career.
Oh, there's a little bit of difference. It's not like City went late in the window, decided to go after Grealish.
I guess, yeah. I'm just comparing the
sentiment. Yeah, and the sentiment from fans, I actually kind of agree with Hoffman in that, like, they don't hold, like, when Grealish gets on the field, no one's like chanting like they do with Kai Havertz, right? 60 million down the drain. No one's chanting that shit whenever he goes out there. They know he's a 100 million pound player, but like the expectation isn't a 100 million pound performance. If that kind of makes sense, it's like they almost maybe are more realistic with Jack Grealish, or forgiving of him for whatever reason. But
I think Matt's spot on with the price not being the player's fault. End of the day, though, I mean, game is game. It is part of the way football is analyzed. Mm-hmm. You look at what you paid for him and its impact for that price, right? Which again, it sucks. I know this whole entire percent that's not the player's fault. Even though wages are even an example as well. Oh, United offered me 20K a week. What am I going to say? No, you can't say no. That's completely fair.
No one's going to say no.
Exactly, right? So, but I still think at the end of the day, it's always going to be part of the discussion when someone doesn't do well.
You know who you guys could have signed, though, at a similar age and cost you so much less? Now, just, of course, hindsight being 2020, is Liam Delap. 21-year-old, 10 goal contributions. I mean, he's probably like worth what, 20 million from Ipswich. So
now he's probably worth 50.
Yeah, he'll probably be worth more in the summer, 100%. But like his actual transfer market value on paper today is like 17 or 18 million.
I mean, yes, they're playing the same teams, but I think that pressure of playing for Ipswich versus a pressure playing for United does something to players.
It's true. I agree. I just think that when I watch Liam Delap play, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of a cheeky dude just when I watch him play. I don't think he feels a ton of pressure. I will also say the pressure of keeping a side afloat in the Premier League is also its own unique pressure for a youngster to put on their shoulders, right? Like, I got to keep this team up.
But it's also like it is Ipswich, and they were kind of expected to go down. So, like, it's not like Leicester City where, it's completely different pressure, but
should I tell you all who I picked?
Yes, please.
Your boy Rashford, man. This guy drinks more than he plays, man.
Oh my god! Oh my god, bro, he's going to Barcelona.
That's true. Look, man, I don't know what it is.
Barcelona.
There's this weird sense of karma.
You literally tweeted that I'm gonna have to cheer on this man.
Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. I don't know
what it is, bro. When Hoffman speaks, he's more often than not right. But at the same time, there's just like this air of karma that just follows right afterward. You know, like
whoa, what karma have I got?
I'm just saying, bro. Like we've shit talked Rashford a lot on this show, and now we're gonna fucking sign him, bro.
Listen, man. If we sign him. It's whatever. Again, he'll probably come for the 6-month party in Barcelona, then diff for all I know. If he comes, we're gonna be barely paying him anything. I'm not bothered.
He just needs to get out of Manchester.
I just feel like Rashford for his expectation on 300K a week, number 10, Mac born and bred. 6 months in the season, he has like what 4 goals, 2 assists. Like I did an analysis video for Goals TV. I think he had 4 goals in the Prem, 3 in Europa League, and like an assist here and there. For that kind of player, for that kind of money, being in and out of the team, being left out for behavioral or whatever,
it'd be like someone of
at least Holland and Xerxes are there week in, week out, putting in some effort and playing opposed to Rashford.
Very true. It'd be like someone on Arsenal of Saka's caliber not performing week in and week out. Like just being someone that's just like, he might get in the team, he might not. I'd be fuming, right? Almost like, what is Mason Mount getting paid right now?
Face of United. Come on now.
That too is a very, very similar comparison. I couldn't imagine. I'd be so pissed if it was the shoe on the other foot. And then again, you could point to other guys that just haven't even played, like Mason Mount and other players. But Rashford's a good one. I didn't think about Rashford. I kind of just like discarded him because I figured he's already gone.
He hasn't played for the past month for United, but six months of the season, first half is definitely enough.
Yeah,
go in the conversation. Or he was, of course, regular with Amorim and Ten Hag.
Max,
there's a good moment where he played on the right for a bit for like 2 3
You can't really say Rashford's one of our most disappointing players when he's actually one of our highest goal scorers in the club. He hasn't even played.
That shows how shit you are, but like,
and he hasn't even played in like a month. So
yeah, fair enough. It's kind of crazy though. He is a top 3 scorer for the team right now. Like
he's a top 3 scorer and hasn't played in a month.
That's insane. Ahmad is doing wonders over there in the meantime, But yeah, bro.
And Ten Hag, one of him.
I'm also kind of surprised though. Like no one has said Garnacho. That no one's talked about like his drop off in form to an extent, like from last.
I think the other that we mentioned are just worse, to be honest. You could have definitely argued for Garnacho. To be fair,
we'll see, man. Garnacho for Nkunku. We'll find out. We'll find out. But I don't know, bro. Who had the most in this pick? Like who had Højlund?
I think Højlund. I know Max and I had Højlund.
Who'd you have, Jose, again?
I didn't have Højlund. I had
he had the low. So 2 for Højlund,
2 Højlund and a Rashford. All right, I think we'll go with Rasmus for and he probably will be here for the rest of the season, of course, right? So maybe it makes more sense of a pick. Although we did say Kyle Walker for City a little while ago, but it's fine. It's fine. Either way, guys, in the comments down below, man, let us know how you feel. United is one of the most contentious ones, right? Because the shift of the manager. Someone who made sense previously may not make sense in this new system, like Dalot, for example. Let us know how you feel in the comments down below about United and their biggest underperformer this season. All right, man. And finally,
speaking of contentious,
the bottom of the barrel for the big 6 clubs. Big Ange's men, Spurs. Let's start with the most recent victor over the Spurs, our Leicester City man, Austin Forbes. Austin. How you feel about Spurs, bro? Who's the biggest performer?
Feel really good after today. Hey, I mean, we have what? We have 17 points. 4 of them has come off Spurs.
That's crazy. That's actually insane.
I picked Archie Gray, and it's not his. I mean, it is.
Look at Hopkins' face.
No, because I picked him too. I thought mine was gonna be like an underrated shout.
But I mean, he's 18. They have tons of injuries. I don't know if they really wanted him to be pushed, but he's been shit. Like,
he's playing off position. He's not a center back.
I know, but he's been terrible.
Matt, we can only judge when our IC,
I know, but he's not even a center. Bro, he was brought in as a midfielder. Bro, and then he started playing right back, and now he's playing center back.
I didn't.
He's all over the back line right now, bro.
I didn't. You know his man costs $60 million, right? That's
that is the biggest travesty by far. Like when we talked about that, when we saw that price,
I know Max hates talking about the price. Of the day,
I had to fucking ask. I was like, "Who the hell is Archie Gray, bro? Like, why is he costing just as much as Kai Havertz cost us at Arsenal?"
I didn't even know he played today, and I watched it. Like, I didn't even know. Like, for the like Sofa Score Foot Mob Score merchants. he has like started like 8 in a row games. 4 of those games have been above a 6.
Yeah,
like he's had a 4 in there. He's had 3 5s, and I think the max is like a 6.8. Like it's not really all his fault. He is playing out of position. He's really young. I don't think they really wanted him in this situation, but
definitely not.
I mean, it's bad.
I'm gonna one up Austin here, and I love talking about this because I feel like we got to backpedal one of the videos that we did last season. We talked about this man being the best left back in the Prem. Archie Gray's had to take over for him. He got injured because he got injured, right? Late December. That makes sense. Whatever. He still played 18 matches, and he hasn't been good. What's either fullback you could honestly pick, in my opinion, either one of those, Boro or Udogie. I went with Udogie because of the expectation and just what he brought in his first season as a Spur. But I think that, yeah, man. I mean, Archie Gray, I hear the shouts. It's not his actual position. He's picking up the pieces for just how bad Udogie and Boro have really been. And, bro,
Oro didn't even start today.
I mean, shit, the way he got crossed up by Trossard, I don't blame Ange, bro. I honestly haven't seen someone's ankles or knees get broken like that or buckled in a while, bro. That was honestly hella fucking embarrassing if you're a Spurs fan. But
also on Archie Gray, right? There's a reason why Ange is playing him at center back, right? There has to be something that he's seeing in training that he sees that he's the best option for that position. I think for his price tag as well. Remember when they were playing Southampton? I put in the group chat that they were going to lose because they had just players all over the place. That's when I first saw Archie Gray at center back. But what the hell's a midfielder doing at center back, right? And the day he's been consistently playing there. He's not grown or developed whatsoever. I know it's not his position. For the price he costs and how poor he's been playing, that's why I picked him. I thought it was gonna be underrated shout. So shout out to Austin for being on the same wavelength.
yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just that like Archie Gray, I think to me is just having to pick up the pieces, and it's not looking good. Don't get me wrong, but having to pick up the pieces for injuries, of course. Now in January, we're making this video, but throughout the first half of the season, it's Udogie and Boro for what we know them to be, and frankly, like what did Boro cost? From
I think 30 million from Sporting, 30, 40 million, something like that.
Okay, not bad for not terrible for a fullback.
Yeah.
I think the expectation, though, again, right, that this whole team was supposed to elevate from last season to really.
His GA isn't that bad though.
Well, he's such an attacking like fullback. He's had like 5 assists. This year.
Udogie has 1 assist across the
Udogie's
entire
been
season.
terrible.
He's been fucking awful.
Like Porro at least has like goal contributions, and
I told you guys
that helps.
You guys slow your roll last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I said, Udogie, there was a time where he was legitimately one of the most consistent left backs in the Prem. And maybe we're premature with that shout. Maybe it was a 1-season wonder. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just going to say this about Archie Gray. Like, he played left back today, and Bobby Reed played the other side of the league. Bobby D. Cordova had 2 assists. And he's been one of the
He's
worst
not
players.
a left back, bro. He's not a fucking left back.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I
to be fair, for Spurs, you can literally pick probably anyone. Literally anyone. Son, Solanke, Madison. The whole team just been underperforming beyond belief. And the team has been so injury.
I will say the one person that honestly I thought has been underperforming since he came last January is Dragusin. The other
yeah.
He's been absolute shit every game I've seen him play. I don't think he's ever had a good game.
He's just like an average center back. Like, weren't they trying to compare this man to Araujo at one point?
Yeah,
like,
because the same build, same kind of way of defending.
The Romanian Araujo.
Yves Bissouma's been like missing too.
Yeah. Again, you could literally pick anyone. I wouldn't argue against it.
You guys are just picking on a kid, man. You guys are mean.
Hey, man, game. I hate this kid persona. I'm not gonna get into it.
He is kind of a child though. Like if we think about it, the price tag's there. We get that.
The mini amount's the child. Let's look.
He had a good game against us. Again in the championship last year.
Yeah, because it was the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was championship. And then they paid him 60 mil.
Yeah, I think it was like 51 English pounds.
Get Andre.
I would love.
I know, bro. Yeah, get Andre for the championship take.
Why was he bought for 60 mil, Andre?
I don't know.
Well, he was the young player of the year last year.
He was
touted as the next best thing.
And look, he might go on
English tax.
Yeah, he might go on to be one of the best young players in the Prem, going forward, right?
This is a learning experience for him, for sure.
It is.
You know what's crazy? Like, this is the problem with English tax that we have. There's a player for Barcelona named Unai Hernandez who plays in the exact same position as Archie Gray. But I would say probably the same level based on what I've seen at the two. He's going to Saudi for $5 million.
I saw that. That's actually fucking crazy. Directly from the B team. That's wild.
Yeah. 5 million compared to 60 million, and honestly, 60 million euros, when honestly there's not that much difference between the players. That's a problem with, I think, the English Football Federation, not just the Premier League or Championship.
But the problem I have with this take is that, like, I just don't think it's fair, right? And it's the same shouts that we were seeing from about Kustanov and his debut for Manchester City yesterday, right? And that, it's a defensive mid who's young, young-ish, 20 years old, starting his first game in the Prem, and he's starting out of position, right? And that first goal was a fucking howler. Do not get me wrong. You don't head the ball back with no pace at the top of your 18 back to your keeper when they're putting pressure on you. You just never do that. But at the same time, right? Like, I just think it's unfair. Like, should I judge this center? I
can definitely see your point, but for me, I think he's played enough games now to be in contention. Like, this is why for the other teams, I didn't include, like, for Arsenal, Jorginho, or for United, maybe Casemiro, because they just haven't played that much. They haven't been. You can, of course, say they're the worst players because they don't play, but I think judging it on players who play shows their true level. That's why I picked Archie Gray. I think for the games he's played, especially over the past few months, whether it be midfield, center back, or left back, he's not had one not even solid performance. And he also cost Spurs on a few occasions. Like Austin said, Diego Verri getting 2 assists today on that side. It's absolute madness. Austin has not said one good word about Diego Verri this season.
That is true. That is true. Hey, man, shout out Diego
That's just my
Verri,
perspective,
bro.
anyways.
Bobby's the pride of CONCACAF, bro.
He doesn't play. He doesn't play for Jamaica.
Hey, bro. All I'm saying is that, like, look, he's playing out of position. We know he's actually a midfielder. I do think that when he gets back to where he's supposed to be playing, that's when I want to judge him. But I guess I won't judge. I'm sure there's plenty of Spurs fans. Let us know in the comments down below. Who will look at it the same way you guys do. Like, dude, he's been absolute shit. I just think he's being asked to do a lot. I don't know how he gets
into that midfield.
I'll be honest, the midfield hasn't been that great either. So,
the whole team.
The whole team. Like I said, this is bottom of the barrel with the big six. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This is by far the most down bad team.
Relegation battle. They're only like 8 points.
Yeah.
7 points if they clear.
If things keep going the way they're going, Spurs are firmly going to be in a relegation battle, and it's going to be just crazy to watch considering where they were, right? So, I don't know, man. We had 2 shouts for Archie Gray. I said Udogi. Who was the other one? Was it Dragusin?
Dragusin.
We're going to go with Archie Gray then. It is what it is. It feels unfair as shit, but like
it does, but
game's game.
You're still a player. You still have to be a player and you still have to adapt.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fair. Again,
this is all constructive criticism. We're not saying that he's, terrible, won't come back.
We're not writing him off at 17 years
just
old.
For now.
And if this show's history is anything to go off of, there's an Archie Gray masterclass coming soon. I could feel it. Just feel it.
Hey, it won't be against us. That's all I know.
Absolutely, bro. Imagine getting basically swept by Leicester City in a season. That's fucking crazy, bro. 4 points.
Was the first game? Listen, when the first game was a draw.
You draw.
It draw.
That's crazy.
4 out of 6 against Spurs. That's fucking crazy. Vardy with a brace against both matches, basically. So that's, I don't know. Again, Spurs are their own kind of
with 2 assists.
They're their own entertainment for Premier League fans this season. All right, man. Honorable mention shouts. No team specific, right? You can bundle all of the rest of the teams into these honorable mentions. I got a few that I want to kick things off with. I'm kind of curious how some of you guys feel about this because I think it's somewhat contentious. All right, so I'm going to start with my first one. All right, Jared Bowen, in my opinion, has been one of the biggest underperformers all fucking season long. Bro, right now, he's got 6 goals to his name, and maybe this is why West Ham are where they are. Maybe part of that's the fact that they signed guys like fucking Fulkrug, and he can't perform, can't stay healthy. They don't really have another forward option outside of maybe Kudus when they want to play him there.
I can't believe from that incredible summer they had, their best summer signing is probably on Bissaka. Last second for 10
He's
million.
actually been decent too. That's kind of crazy.
I was about to say
he's arguably been their best player this year.
Yeah, I couldn't even say that. and as we say that, West Ham score.
Actually, he is their best player this year.
Yep, we say that right as West Ham score.
I was just hoping Jared Bowen scored.
Bro, I know right as I said that, that would have been like.
They got Todibo for 40 million, Kilman for 40, Fulkrug for 30. They signed someone in the midfield. Guido Rodriguez and that was for free though.
This was going to be what shout did we have hopping at the beginning of the season? It was like I don't know what it was, under the radar team.
Most like
my surprise team this season.
Team. I thought they'd be pushing for top 8, like any European competitions, and they're fighting for relegation.
I think everyone either picked Palace or West Ham, and I think we were very wrong on both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah. Jared Bowen, man, again, this is someone who had 16 goals last season, bro. Chipped in more than a few assists as well. And now it's like he'll be lucky if he hits 10 to 12, like he really will this season. And it just shows you where West Ham is.
And we never know, man. Phil was doing a mad one this start of the year. Like we said, he was our underperforming player in the first half season. Second half, he started off pretty well. So
yeah, he's looking good to kick things off. I think he had to against Chelsea, but
I had the same club, but different player, and that's Kudus, another underperformer. He's
suspended half the time.
That was the only thing.
That's underperforming.
Yeah. I'm not taking that away from you.
You got to be available, right?
You got to be available. It's not like he wasn't injured.
Don't punch.
That 5-game suspension really fucked him, though. Like that was a huge.
But even when he's playing, he hasn't still been great. Like he has 3 goals, 2 assists.
Mm-hmm. I had Eze for Crystal Palace.
I had Eze.
Absolutely.
I was thinking Nketiah, but like he just doesn't play either.
Bro,
one goal this season against Arsenal is hilarious.
Got some chances. He got some chances in the beginning, but when you're not scoring as a forward and you get Mateta who can at least chip in with an assist or a goal every now and then, like you're just not going to play.
At least, come on, man. It's been a year. Give him some flowers. Holy, we gotta get some Mateta flowers from Jose, man.
What? I mean, yeah, but he's scoring goals, bro. I mean, what's he got? Like 7, 8 goals right now? Hey, kudos to Mateta, bro.
I was on cloud 9, 1-0 up against Mateta goal against Arsenal. I was on cloud 9 for that.
Right now, hold on. Right now, where is he? Where's Crystal Palace? 12th place. Hey, that sounds right up your alley, Mateta. That's you, brother. Has
he broken 10 goals? Yeah, I feel like he's amongst the top goal scorers in the Prem.
He's definitely when I made that, I guess you could call it crazy shout now. When I made that shout, he was fucking trash. I don't care what anybody says. He was.
But the remontada has been crazy. That's
it has. It has. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. You know, if guys like I've also said the same shit about guys like Emiliano Buendia. Like if Buendia somehow turns it around, I'll hold my fucking hands up, bro. I just don't see it. Right? Like they're just players that I just don't see it. Mateta was one of them once upon a time. Another crazy shout. We gave him a lot of praise when they made the move this summer. James Ward-Prowse going to Nottingham Forest. Guy has been fucking absent out of the team since getting replaced by Yates, basically. Like, it's kind of crazy. And Forest, look at Forest. They don't even need him, bro. Motherfuckers are top 4 all by themselves. They don't need James Ward-Prowse in that midfield.
DCL. Man just doesn't fucking score and he plays every single game.
Until they play Spurs.
Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, bro didn't score at home in 16 games and gets a brace against Tottenham.
This might be a crazy shout, but I had Matoma down. I know he's been all right recently in the past month or so, but that first from like August till November, I don't know if he was injured or not, but he was not on it quite much. But now since Brighton get their usual clapping against United, I think he scored in the other game at home, I believe as well. But they just lost to Everton at home.
Isn't he one of their top goal scorers though?
Yeah, but I think again, like we said for Jared Bowen, like for expectation wise, man was being linked with Barcelona and big moves for like 80 million like a summer ago, and now he's I think got back to reality a little bit is what I'm trying to say. I don't think he's been absolutely like shite, but for the expectations that we have for him, I think very much similar to your Jared Bowen shout.
I think a bigger shout for underperformer from Brighton specifically. Just it is some of it's injury, some of it's just due to I think him not coming back from injury as quickly as he needs to. But it's Evan Ferguson for me.
He's haven't heard this guy since like last January.
We were trying to get him like both windows.
He would have been a good signing for Leicester. He definitely would. Just he needs to go somewhere to get a little bit of a fresh start. He's still young, 20 years old, can still probably play at the Prem level. But bro, he's only played like 2 or 3 games this season.
Yeah,
like he's got a goal, right? Like I don't know, bro. Like this is someone that I think at some point people were talking about going to get a really big offer. For one of the
he was being linked with United for like 60-70 million, like the Irish connection. He's being linked with Arsenal for like 60 million. Then I think he had this injury, and I haven't heard of him since. Does he still play for Brighton?
Yeah, definitely still play for Brighton. Yeah, he's still
there.
Like,
is he playing or is he injured? Like,
no,
he started 2 games this season.
Oh, okay, that's pretty shit.
Yeah. So like he's got a goal. He's got 1 goal this season.
I know the bottom of the table is quite boring, but I do have Ramsdale down for Southampton because I've seen him make more mistakes than big saves. I also have the entire.
But they're just bad.
I have Ian Maatsen from Villa.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic shot. Man's been bought for 40 million. I don't even how many Premier League appearances he has? Like 1 or 2?
He started 3 well. I think he started 3 games and but he's come off a majority off the bench.
I just think Digne's more reliable. I mean, I agree. Maatsen was supposed to be really good.
Maatsen then.
Yeah, I agree. I just think
he was doing well. He got Dortmund to a fucking Champions League final.
Yeah, well, you buy Maatsen because Villa plays in Europe now, right? So like you look at that and like, okay, I need another left back that I can rotate with that offers the same quality as Digne does. And like on paper, they have similar qualities. I just think Digne has been significantly more reliable. And Maatsen, like when given the opportunities, hasn't done enough to stand out. I'm not disagreeing with the shout. I'm just saying there's like context there. But
I've had the also the entire center backs for Wolves as well. I think they've all underperformed this season. I mean, they're probably the reason why they're not where they're at right now. I think their midfield and attack haven't been too bad, but that whole entire center back, cohesion. Since they lost Kilman to West Ham,
that was
the dagger.
Worst piece of business and why they sold him.
It doesn't make sense. The next one will be Mateus Cunha. When they lose Cunha and they don't replace him like they did with Kilman, if they don't replace Kilman with the center back, in my opinion, there's no one back there doing what he was doing. If they did with Cunha,
their center backs have been so bad that now the new manager is playing their starting wing backs as outside center backs and playing the backup wingers as the actual wing backs. That's how bad the center backs have been. Whether it's Bueno, Craig Dawson, whoever it is, they've all been terrible.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Yeah,
I had Enes Unal in there. He's only had like 3 goal contributions.
He's just getting into it, and then he did his ACL, the poor guy.
Yeah,
that sucks, man.
I mean, it sucks, but they bought him for like 17 mil for a club that don't really spend money. I mean, they've been really good. And I had Leon Bailey. Those are my non-Leicester City ones. I mean, Leon Bailey, I think I saw he averages like 1 shot per 90 minutes. Not shots on goal, shots. And then he only hits the target 40% of the time. So, I mean, that's awful. But I had Ollie Skip in there, like why we bought him for 22 freaking mil. He doesn't.
I remember that deal.
Like, it's one of the dumbest. We bought Harry Winks for 8. And granted, we were in the championship, so I guess it was different. But Ollie Skip for fucking 22. Like, what the?
At least, I mean, look, no matter what, right? You guys could use some depth in that position, right? Considering who you're starting at 33 years old.
We were trying to buy another DM.
I mean, but still, you guys needed some help in there, and of course, he's coming. He's prem proven, to an extent. So, like, I understand the logic behind it, and 20 million in this day and age isn't like a huge fee.
Yeah, but I mean, we could barely afford players that cost 3 million right now.
Yeah.
And then I have John Rudkin, who's our idiotic director of football.
I actually had the Afro guy at Leicester, Fies or whatever his name is. I think he's the worst center back in the league.
Yeah, actually, well, he did give up the goal today, but he actually played decent after that. But Caleb Akoli, I don't know if y'all heard this story. This is actually hilarious if you haven't. So he wants out, and this came from a reputable journalist. He wants out because Rude told him to change his cleats because he kept slipping. So he absolutely lost his mind, and now he wants to leave.
What?
Yeah, I'm 100% serious. Like, look it up,
man.
And we bought him for like 15 mil.
I'm telling you, Rudy needs to give him the Rashford treatment, bro. Just like, all right, fine, you don't be here, get the fuck out. Like, you're not gonna suit you up. You're gonna train by yourself. Actually, give him that treatment with Aubameyang, bro. Fuck it, just like absolutely put him to the side. Not gonna worry about it, bro. Out of sight, out of mind.
I mean, our defense.
For a team trying to avoid a relegation battle or trying to survive a relegation battle, that's
James
like the worst
attitude you can have.
Yeah.
James Justin is the worst defender in the league.
But 2 bangers against Arsenal, though.
Yeah, that was luck. He then
both of them were fucking insane, bro. I was like, all right, cool,
dude. He gets turned left. Like, to me. Like, he gets beat so much on the outside. You're like, okay, I should probably move those players in where I have help. No, he keeps letting them go outside, and then he just gets beat. It's some of the most idiotic thing, and my rant's only like 4 minutes today after we won. It was going to be like 20. I was going to go off on top and Whelan and Rude and Cooper and everyone, but we did win, so I feel a little bit better.
Dub's a dub. But I will say this: I love how this the honorable mentions of this show, the tail end of the episode today, has just become Leicester City therapy. I'm there with you, bro. In spirit, right? Until we play you guys, in which case I hope we dunk on you.
If we get relegated, we will be in League One in 2 seasons because we're going to get absolutely slammed by the championship for PSR stuff. Like we would be in League One.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
If we get relegated, they can't do anything to us while we're in the Prem, but if we go back down, we're fucked.
Well, survive, bro. Survive. That Everton game's gonna hit like crack. That's for sure. All right, man.
Go on, boys.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But man, look, this is our biggest underperformers list for the big six clubs in the Premier League for the 24-25 season so far. Guys, if you haven't done so already, if you like the video down below. All right. If you're brand new to the channel, subscribe to Goals TV down below. We got consistent Premier League content week in and week out, staying on this channel moving forward. Not going to want to miss any of it. Next video coming up very, very soon. All right. So stay tuned. And again, let us know in the comments down below if you have someone different as your biggest underperformer for any one of these clubs that we talked about today. All right, man. Again, for everybody here against the round table, my name's Jose. That's Hafid. That's Austin. That's Max. We'll catch you guys next time.